The Ohio State Football Buckeyes are national champions with a win over Notre Dame in the College Football Playoff National Championship. If you are excited about winning a Natty, which I think every single person watching should be, even you Team Up North haters that are somehow hate watching, type OSU in the comment section of today's video. For a while, looked like that game might get out of hand. For a little bit, looked like it might be a close game. In the end, the Buckeyes win and cover, as great teams do, 34-23 over the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Will Howard, as we'll discuss, ends up winning CFP MVP. The big-time play from Jeremiah Smith. The running game, electric in this one. We'll break it all down for you in celebration for Ohio State. If you want some Ohio State National Championship gear, go over to chatsports.com/OSU Champs. The link will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. Hats, t-shirts, hoodies, everything else in between. If you want some gear from the Buckeyes National Championship run, go get it on Fanatics. It's chatsports.com/OSU Champs. Link will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. Let's talk Will Howard, who ends up winning the CFP MVP Award. He missed 4 throws all game. It's really good. 17 of 21, 231. Also ran for 16 carries and 57 yards, just shy of the 300-yard mark. Howard was in the CFP run. Will Howard was everything you could have hoped for out of the Ohio State quarterback. Didn't turn the ball over very much. Didn't make mistakes. Made a bunch of plays. Every time the Buckeyes were in a third down, he found a way to make it work. The Buckeyes were 9 of 12 on third downs in this game. That's unbelievable. 445 yards of offense, 57 on the ground from Will Howard, 231 through the air. He was awesome. And I had concerns going into the CFP like, hey, is Will Howard good enough to get this incredibly talented, potential record-setting NFL draft pick roster to where they need to go? The answer was yes. He delivered in every way you could have wanted. He, of course, was far, as my contact freaks out on this side, by the way, was the far from the only player who delivered. How about, and I think you could have made a real argument for Quinshon Judkins being the MVP. 11 carries, 100 yards, 2 scores, including the 70-yard run where he didn't quite have enough juice left to score there. Also caught 2 passes, 21 yards, and a score. 121 yards of offense. Traven Henderson got the start. He was good too, by the way, 12-49. Judkins was awesome. He ran with power, with physicality, with violence. Had some good blocks even in this game. The Ohio State offense, if I told you they scored 34, you wouldn't, wow, we won. And they did in the end. The pinned comments on today's video. Who is the MVP of tonight's game for Ohio State? Let me know in the comments section. The pinned comment if that comes here on YouTube. Go vote right now. Who do you think? Howard obviously won. Who do you think should have won the MVP? Given the moment in which it occurred, there might not have been a bigger play in this game than Jeremiah Smith's 56-yard touchdown to pick up a massive third down, get the Buckeyes in field goal range, and ice the game. 5 for 88 for, I think, the best receiver in college football. Had minus 5 yards on the ground. It's not fantasy. Who cares? He was awesome again. Outside of a fumble, Emeka Egbuka had a very good game as well. 6 for 64. Had a bad fumble. Had 13 yards on the ground. The fumble ends up not mattering. The Buckeyes got 2 for 35 from Carnell Tate. Brandon Inniss, who will play a bigger role next year with Egbuka gone, had a catch for 19 yards. Again, you go 17 of 21 for 231 and 2 scores. Good things normally happen. Now, as someone who has been, I think at times correctly critical of Ryan Day, he ain't going anywhere now. You don't dump a coach, especially with the Bears job closed, that won a national championship. Shoot, you might get an extension now. And you know what? You win an Natty every couple of years. You want more than that, but that's a good outcome in the end. Be honest with me. Do you want Ryan Day to stick around? Y for yes, N for no. Should be a lot of yeses in there. You want a Natty. As annoying and as frustrating as that Michigan loss was, I do wonder this. Does this Ohio State team make it as far as they did if they beat Michigan? Or was that the negative moment, the pull yourself up by your bootstraps moment, the changing of the mindset that went, wow, we got to lock in? Was that the moment they rallied from a loss that in the 4-team college football playoff means they don't get to play for this? In a 4-team CFP, they don't make it here. They're at home. Ryan Day might have been fired, but in the expanded playoff, they got in, and they took care of business every single step of the way. 42-17 over Tennessee, 41-20 over Oregon, 28-14 over Texas, 34-23 over Notre Dame. They won every single game by double-digit points. To benefit me, by the way, I can say it now that they won. I had a lot of money on OSU in this game. I did multiple bets on them to win and cover the spread too. They cover the spread every single step of the way. That's what great teams do. That's dominance out of, I think, an immensely talented football team. There is a lot of personnel losses you're going to undergo. You're going to lose almost your entire starting defense. That's fine. Because you want a Natty, it's worth it. We will have more coverage for you here on the Ohio State Football Report. Hit that sub button, youtube.com/GoBucks. Other final thoughts I want to mention, acknowledge, I would assume Henderson, who is gone, and Judkins also gone. Appreciate it, guys. You both guys ran for 1,000 yards this season. That's hard to do, even with the 16-game year. That's a lot to ask for out of two different backs. And Howard ran for a bunch of yards too. Looking forward, big year coming up for Carnell Tate. Obviously, Jeremiah Smith's going to be your number one receiver. It's incredible to have him for 2 more years, by the way. Carnell Tate and a guy I like a lot, Brendan Ennis, for what I assume will be Julian Sayin, are going to play key roles for this team. We'll see if a guy like a Sonny Styles chooses to come back. He doesn't have to. He can turn pro if he wants. I would anticipate pretty large personnel losses, and that's fine. You'll take your entire senior, junior class leaving if it wins you a Natty, right? And Ohio State got that tonight.